y'all. Well, it's Friday. It's Friday. And I came up on a banana. You know them nice organic bananas? That's what this is. I'm going to tap some of y'all in on this one. Ooh, Lashana, this has to do with a pastor. A pastor, a girl, and her boyfriend. Oh yeah. Don't get no deeper than that. A married pastor. Child. Alright. What up, Vandale Atkins? Just me and you right now, partner. It looks like somebody else came in. That banana just tastes like a moist piece of steak just now. Alright. This girl was the type of girl that talked to her mother every day. Her little gay male friend 3-4 times a day. And she always talked to her mom too. She had a lot of friends. A lot of friends that loved and adored her, you know. She liked to make everybody happy. She always dancing around and singing and all this stuff. She kept a 3.8 in college, you know. Her desires was to help kids that were in poverty areas, you know, really strive, you know, to be successful. So that was her direction that she was trying to take when it comes to her schooling or whatever. So she met this dude coming out of college, you know. He was a prominent athlete, good looking kid, you know. Had the medium length dreads, cutie pie, nice pink pouchy lips. He was tall, you know, toffee colored kid. She was a little petite chick. She can also sing. So where they live, you know, they started dating. They met each other. They started dating, and it was really close. So for about 2 years, everything was gravy. Okay, everything was good. Well, after she graduated, left school, she got an apartment. She had she started working at some place, some type of guidance counselor, something for teenagers or whatever. And then she was doing good there. Everything's good, you know. She loved her job. And she wanted to join a church. So where she lived, she joined this real prominent church. It's a historic black church. All right. And the pastor that ran that church was known all over town. Even the police department, they would gravitate towards him as far as you know, talking with the community when they needed information or whatever. All right. So he was well respected. Okay. Yeah, well respected black pastor. Well, when she decided to join this church, she also wanted to sing, you know. So now she sings for the church, everything for the church. She loves the church. You know. Well, okay, so it comes a time when, you know, her mother's trying to get a hold of her. Can't reach her. Her mother called her 3 or 4 times. She not responding. So the next day, the next morning, her mom, you know, tries to call her again. She's still not answering, you know. She got her own apartment and everything. So she calls her little gay friend. No, she calls her boyfriend. You know, have you seen Lisa? I'm trying to get a hold of Lisa. Have you heard from her? And he was like, no, I saw her Sunday. I saw her Sunday. The last time I talked to her, she was supposed to be meeting up with the pastor. Ooh, I can't be reading, y'all. What you say? Hello there. Hello, good evening. Happy Friday. Hey, Spencer, how you doing, handsome? So he told her mom that, you know, she's supposed to be meeting with the pastor Sunday. You know, after church or choir rehearsal or something. So then she hung up with him, and her gay friend ended up calling her mom. Hey, have you heard from Lisa? I've been trying to get a hold of Lisa. She's not answering my calls. And her job said she missed her shift. Or her mother was like, what? She loved her job. Wait a minute, she missed her shift and she not answering her calls. She didn't answer none of my calls yesterday, and she didn't return none of my calls. Her boyfriend said she was supposed to meet up with the pastor, so I'm going to call the pastor. So she called the pastor. The pastor said, no, she seemed fine. After I met with her, she seems fine. If there's anything I could do, let me know, baby. Is there anything I could do? So now her mother's like, nah, I'm finna call the police. That's what I'm gonna do. So she called the cops. Detectives came to the house, talked with her and everything. And so they says, well, does she have a boyfriend or anybody that she's seen? So she told her, yeah, she has a boyfriend. So they called him in. So the boyfriend comes down to the police station, and he says the last time he seen her and all this and that. Hold on. Before they called the boyfriend, they went over to her apartment. All right. They went over to her apartment, knocking on the door. Nobody answering the door. So they asked for the manager, superintendent, or whatever. Come open this damn door. And the other time, they kicking down doors, correct? They pick and choose when they want to act like bad boys. So they open the door, they go in. They notice a drop of blood on the wall as they walked in. Then they noticed something else. I forgot what else they noticed. Y'all know I can mess up a story. And then they went into the bedroom and they noticed that somebody was trying to clean up some blood on the carpet in the room, in her room. It was beers and some beers on the kitchen, on the living room corner table, where there was some drinking. It looked like some drinking was going on, some partying was going on or whatever. But she wasn't there. She's not there. So then that's when they go to the boyfriend. So he comes in and he says, no, I didn't see her. I saw her Sunday, but I haven't seen her or talked to her after that. Then he says, but honestly, to tell you the truth, you need to talk to the pastor. That's who you need to go talk to. Because I believe they was messing around. So, now he just gave motivation for them to look at him at a side eye. That didn't bother you. He was like, no, we was getting through it. She was saying it's nothing. But then I looked through her phone and I found this. And he took a screenshot of what he saw in her phone, and it was the pastor's penis. Yes, it was. It was his penis. Yes. It was some text messages. Hot, heavy text messages. I'm going to do this and this and this to you next time I see you with this. Now, pastor ain't supposed to be sending no pictures of himself. Gee whiz, man. Oh. She young, too. He married pastor. And regardless of all that, you ain't supposed to be sending your penis to nobody. So there's like, oh, whoa. And these detectives are cool with the pastor. They know this pastor. The pastor didn't help them out on a few criminal situations where they needed to get information from the city, the town, and shit. So now they got to go talk to his ass, Pastor Jenkins. Pastor Jenkins, we need you to come in. We need to talk to you, ask you a few questions regarding Lisa. So he comes in. They said, yeah, Mr. Jenkins, so we understand that she met with you on Sunday. Yeah, she met with me on Sunday, and, blah, 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 la, la, la. Everything was good. Is there anything I could do? Is there something I need to do for you? Help you do something? Y'all can depend on me, because, I'm always helpful. They says, well, we have reason to believe, was there anything extra going on with you and Lisa? No. Nothing. Well, I forgot to tell y'all this. So, we found her car, the car that you gave her, and it's registered in your wife's name. Oh, well, yeah, that's normal for me to, us to let some of our churchgoers use our things, and we help folks out and all these heroes. Well, you was also helping her out with rent, according to her boyfriend. Said you was helping her out with her rent too. Well, yeah, they need help. Everybody needs a little help. Well, what about these pictures? This video, this is this yours? He said, oh, starts sounding like Scooby. I don't know. Y'all know I think I'm funny, so I gotta throw my funny in that shit. I wish I was there when he saw a picture of his own penis. I never used that. I never used that in college. So he was like, look, we ain't never did nothing. We ain't never did nothing now. I showed it to her. We ain't never did nothing. But what about this, what you said, next time you see her, you gonna do this and this to her? I was just talking. Well, he says, actually what you need to do is look into her boyfriend. You know, I had counseled them because he had a little anger management issues. I did a little counseling with them. At the same time, you showing her your penis on the side, sucker. That's why, you don't need to go to no ideas. I gotta get gas already. Gee whiz, man. All these rings and bells. I wish that I missed the cars that didn't say shit. You just run out of gas. You know, I miss that. So anyway, as they getting ready to, so they says, well, where was you at Sunday at around this and this time? So he said, I was with my wife. I was at home with my wife. And then before they says, okay, well, we got to check your alibi. And then, but when he stood up to leave, he turned and says, can I get my car back? This girl is missing, and you just want your car back so your wife don't know that this girl got your, missing girl got your car, sucker. So they were suspicious of that, which I would have been too. You're a pastor. This girl is missing, and you just want the car back, your car candy, your candy. You want that candy back? So before they can leave the station to go question his wife, they get a phone call of something disturbing that her boyfriend posted on Facebook. And his post read, I just want to say I'm sorry for what I have done. I just hope everybody will be able to forgive me. So, that sounds like a confession. That sounds like a confession. So they go over to his house, and they knock on his door. He opens the door and said, you can arrest me right now. I'm ready to go. What are we arresting you for? I killed my girlfriend, is what he said. I killed my girlfriend. So, what he did was, he was talking to her about the pastor that night when they was having some drinks. And he was like, what's up with you and the pastor? This ain't cool. She's like, it's nothing. It's nothing. She kept telling him, it's nothing. It's nothing. So he flashed her his phone showing her what he found. And she still wanted to say, it's nothing. It's nothing. And it pissed him off. So he socked her. He slapped her. And then as she was down on the ground, little chick, as she was down on the ground, he goes into the kitchen and he gets a knife. And then he comes over to her and he slices her throat, right? So that makes it premeditated, because after you hit her and all that, then you left her, and then you went to go get the knife, and then you come back and you do that shit. Then he went in her room and got a suitcase and put her in it, because she was that small. He put her in a suitcase and borrowed his mama's car, okay, and put her in the suitcase and drove her out there into the woods by a creek and put her in a creek. So the police said, hey, you know, where is she? So he had to get in the car with them and show them where she was and all this shit. And because she was in a creek and it was cold and she was surrounded by cold water and it was cold, her body was still intact. Everything was still intact when they opened up the suitcase she was in it. So they put him in jail, right? Okay. When they took him to jail, and he was waiting for his hearing or whatever, you know them tall gates and the barbed wire and shit, and he's an athlete. That sucker decided, you know what, I'm out of here. This shit ain't gonna work. They finna give me life. I'm out of here. So they get 30 minutes to where they get to be outside and shit. He had on his orange jumpsuit. And out of nowhere, he just took off running. He scaled that fence, went over the barbed wire without a cut or a snag or nothing. And they were so amazed on how he did that shit. He got over that shit. And the police, they got wind of it and they was looking for his ass and they found him walking and shit. He was only free for 30 minutes. So because he did that, he got an extra 17 months on top of the sentence he was waiting to get. So they gave him 25 to 40 years plus 17 months until he could go, possible parole shit. Okay, I got through this shit. So now, the pastor still got to deal with that gossip. Yes. I wonder if he's still married. Still got all this respect and shit. Now, I don't trust all these pastors. I'm not one of them. I already had my situation with a church thinking some shit was going on, and I was the only one didn't know nothing going on. Wasn't nothing going on. But since he had all these goings on with folks in the church, this new girl, they just assumed that he had something going on with me. I find out in the bathroom from the candy lady. I'll never forget that shit. I could sell that shit to Tyler Perry. He could use that one. I just went to the bathroom. I one finger up. I remember you was a little girl. You and your grandfather used to come to church. Oh, you know it's going to be an announcement made. No, what's the announcement? No. Well, the pastor, you know, he's going to make an announcement. I just wanted you to be aware. Okay, and I'm like, okay. I felt like I was in a soap opera. Well, I don't want you to be embarrassed or nothing, so I want you to be ready for it. What am I going to be embarrassed for? What? Well, we know, you know, I told y'all this story already. It's just too much stuff. It's just much too much. Y'all going to have to look for that video where I tell it this story. But, you know, that's why I don't trust none of these pastors. None of them! Amen? No, I was I don't trust them, though. They are just a man. They are just a man. Reading out of a book, learn some scriptures. You know. Ain't nobody holier than thou. You know. So, with that said, peace and hair grease. Have a good weekend. I gotta start y'all Monday off with a murder and end it with a murder, okay?